Disclaimer, this video will have spoilers for both Sonic movies and the Super Mario movies. If you haven't watched any of the films, go watch them before this video. Leave a like on the like button and come back after you watched the films, thanks.
Funding for this episode of The Gaming Trouge has been provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
I can't believe they gave Sonic teeth. This is not the Sonic I remember. This film's gonna flop.
2,000 years later.
Wow, this was good? What world do we live in?
Oh, come on! They got the Lego movie guy to play Mario? Ugh. This film is not going to be good.
8:01 p.m.
Wow. So that was the best Illumination movie ever because they added NES in the film.
Hey, Dum Dum, I was going to use that couch for filming. It's been a while since I was down here filming, and I get all set up, and this little goober decides to go take the couch. Oh, is that how it's gonna be? Is that how it's gonna be as I record this? Okay. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, TheGamingTrouge here, and ladies and gentlemen, I just don't feel like playing a video game today, which I know it's weird because I can't exactly go, yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, TheGamingTrouge here, without, gaming being a part of me. I mean, what is my identity outside of gaming? It's literally in my title. Like, I'm supposed to play this. In the 2020s, this hobby has exploded in merging my two loves together, and that being video game movies. Did you know that they made a Minecraft movie? I can just imagine the average moviegoer going,
"The heck is a Minecraft? This looks demonic." Come on, first comic books, now video games. Can we just go back to when movies were movies?
What makes a good video game movie? Is it pleasing only to the fans of the IP? Is it telling a good story regardless of how close it is to the game in question? Or is it about how much stuff we can throw on screen so we can point at the movie theater saying, "I know him! I dated him once!" You dated Bowser? Video game movies, the inverse of the console wars. What started as a concept not many people have taken seriously is now one of the biggest ways that the film industry is surviving nowadays. From the smallest screen TV and anime films like Cyberpunk, Edgerunners, and Arcane, to the big screen with films like Detective Pikachu, to the highly acclaimed Iron Lung. So many games nowadays is getting movie adaptations, and if it's not movies, then it's TV shows, anime, it's expanding all over the place. But dare I say, the two titans that made this what it is are the same two legendary platformers that made the 90s console wars what it is: Super Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog. Both of these films are financial juggernauts, making both Paramount and Universal so much money. And it's brought the world two of gaming's most legendary icons on the big screen, exposing it to the widest audience that both of these franchises have ever seen. But when people talk about specifically the Mario movies, a lot of people always kept comparing it to the Sonic movies. And this is just the one simple question I want to ask. Do you want Mario to be Sonic? Haha, you see what I did there? I did the Somali. Nobody knows what Somali is. So why does Sonic work as a film series? What makes Sonic and the characters more appealing than Nintendo's Mario movies? Well, in the games, Mario has always been a simple platformer. That the story of every mainline game is to save the Princess Peach from the evil Bowser, and seeing a bunch of worlds come to life with fun power-ups, fun music, challenging level design when it gets near the end of the game, and a climactic final battle. A lot of this feels like a roller coaster. I think that is going to be the most used word in this entire video. Now let's switch over to Sonic. Every game in the series since the Master System and the Genesis always felt like they were trying to add something new when it came to storytelling. Now don't hear what I'm not saying, this is not Final Fantasy or Metal Gear levels of storytelling, but Sonic aimed to be something deeper than your standard save X from Y story. So when Sonic got its first movie, the simple plot of Sonic trying to live on Earth and building up the friendship between Sonic and Tom, and it's still having that Sonic vibe, it wasn't anything too big, but it felt more natural when you were watching it on the silver screen. But with Sonic Movie 2 and 3, it took off light years ahead of what the first film did, not only building upon what made those films work, but at the same time going into details that the game rarely touches on and goes into them in pretty good detail. Okay, so Mario never really cared for its plot, and Sonic had more stories told, but Mario can still have a fun story on its own, right? So the Sonic movies were made by Paramount, and when they came to the movies and TV shows aimed at kids, from my experience, it's been pretty good, pretty solid. There's been a few hiccups here and there, but Paramount knows what they're doing with their kid-centric IPs. From Avatar: The Last Airbender to Jimmy Neutron, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, I think, and this unknown show you probably haven't heard of. It's about some sponge that lives in the pineapple under the sea. Yes, all this stuff has gotten most of the popularity based off shows produced by Nick, but at the same time, Paramount owns Nick, so I just personally see it in the same type deal, you know, it's like PB&J. But when it comes to their own original movies that have no sort of TV show adjacent to it, I can think about stuff like Spiderwick Chronicles, Nacho Libre, Barnyard, these are films that anyone from any age can watch and enjoy, and I kind of get the similar vibe from what DreamWorks produces when it comes to Paramount and Nickelodeon. The Super Mario Bros. Movies are produced by Universal and Illumination, the same people behind Despicable Me, Secret Life of Pets, Scene 1 and 2, and many more. There's a video made by the one and only Phineas that goes over his experience with the Despicable Me movies. I do have a bit of bias promoting this video because I did help edit it, but this actually proves my point when it comes to just Illumination as a studio, so please go watch that video for a bit better detail. To bring it up, this studio producing a Mario movie is both the best idea in the world and the worst. Why? Well, remember when I said that Mario games are like roller coasters? These films are essentially just roller coaster rides that you're supposed to just enjoy, have fun, and leave not really thinking anything too much deeper with it. The only film I could think of from Illumination that really made me think was the first Despicable Me movie. But Illumination is not hitting the same type of strides as only Disney or Pixar. They're not even Sony or DreamWorks at this point. They are meant for simple stories, going fast, throwing a bunch of cliches from every family movie onto the screen at the same time, and satisfying its more or less child audience. So with Mario and Galaxy especially, you could see why these films fall flat for a lot of people. But let's get into it.
Holy cannoli, kids, I'm Mario, and I'm telling you, if you're not watching the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, you're gonna turn into a Goomba.
The Mario movies is about brothers Mario and Luigi getting sucked into the world of the Mushroom Kingdom. In the first movie, Luigi gets kidnapped and it's up to Mario and Peach to save the day. In Galaxy, it's about the ruler of the stars, Rosalina, that gets kidnapped and it's up to Mario, Peach to save the- wait, hold on a second. Rosalina gets kidnapped? Are you for real? So like I said before, Mario never really cared about its story. But many people forget that despite it being simple plots in the games, these games also had big character moments and mini stories within them. And one of the biggest examples of this is the 2007 title that this movie shares a title with, Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Wii. In the game, it had a backstory and lore for Rosalina. Despite the main plot being save Peach, it showed that Mario doesn't need story-driven games to make you care about some characters. It cared about the little moments. And you look at other games like Super Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion, heck, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, a game that has zero dialogue, has some of the best character moments inside of a Nintendo IP game. In this movie, one of the things that they do is they not only power scale her back, but at the same time have her get owned by the very first boss fight you face in Mario Galaxy. Like, it's just, like, it's a thing that was in my head in first viewing. I'm like, why this boss fight in particular? It could have been any boss fight from any of the other, like, parts of the game. Why does it have to be the very first one that Mario was easily able to take care of? And like, I can understand that some people are going to be like, well, you need to have an antagonist for this film and you have to have some type of drive to have Peach go and save her, which you don't actually need to. You can make up many other reasons to have Peach and Mario go up into space. Bowser Jr. is a great character that he can go and save his own dad and fight against Mario and Luigi, and then you can have a perfect opportunity for Mario, Peach, and Luigi to all three team up and go see the galaxy together. But no, Peach ends up leaving Mario, and basically they have their own type of story regarding Yoshi, voiced by Donald Glover. I wish I was joking. And I hope you really didn't like Rosalina and those moments with her, because throughout most of this movie, she is just off-screen in a weakened state, which hurts my soul, dang it. But also, one of the most wild moves I've ever seen Nintendo do is not only does Rosalina not get as much screen time, it's replaced the screen time with Star Fox. Heckin' Star Fox! Like, Nintendo, what are you doing? Now, let me get this completely out of the way here. Star Fox getting revived because of this movie shows how many people actively like Star Fox as a franchise. Heck, it was because of this that we basically got a new remake, a deeper remake, if you will, because, yeah, the 3DS blah, of Star Fox 64. Like, this game, I got to play this at a Target. It's really freaking good. Like, I can't even imagine the amount of, like, stress and pressure to make a game like this following up the Mario Galaxy movie. Now, this is obviously a really safe, like, remake, all things considered, but at the same time, it's like, it was only really done because Miyamoto put him in the movie and gave him a bunch of screen time. And I love Star Fox. I think Star Fox is one of Nintendo's most underrated series next to F-Zero. And the fact that this basically helped give Nintendo the green light to make their own Star Fox game again after feeling that it won't do so well, it warms my heart, you know. But at the same time, while looking at this movie critically, as much as I really do like the Star Fox part and knowing that he can work, at the cost of Rosalina as a character in this film, gosh, this is such a hard pill to swallow because I understand both sides of this fight and both sides are right and it breaks my brain, you know? But Rosalina should have been the main focus on a second story. Have her be the B-plot trying to stop Bowser Jr. from taking all over the cosmos, and have Peach and Mario and Luigi all team up way earlier on, and then they can pick up Star Fox and Yoshi as they go on their adventures, and then there you go, you got yourself a Mario Galaxy movie that I don't think would have made the internet go on fire for a few weeks there. This script was written in May of 2026, around a month or so after the movie came out. So I think heads have cooled since then, but yeah, this is just my thought process when I was rewatching Mario Galaxy. I understand that this is a hard thing to watch. I mean, for Mario fans, this is like if they put Big the Cat over Sonic 3 instead of Shadow. Can you imagine the absolute backlash that would have gotten for Paramount? So let's get back to center here. You got the plot with Peach and Toad, and they end up finding Star Fox. You have the plot with Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi, and Bowser for like 20 minutes. And then later in the film, you have Bowser Jr. and Bowser. You can go back and refix the script and retool it to make it all work, but it feels like you're throwing in so many different types of character stories into one. How long is this film again? It's only an hour and 38 minutes. I feel like it was going by really fast. Why is it an hour and 31 minutes? You can have Rosalina and Fox meet up for the first part of the movie, and then alongside Peach and Mario, they will team up with the game. And then you have this huge JRPG party of having a bunch of different Mario and Nintendo characters colliding all at once. Basically making this the Iron Man 2 of the Mario movies. Which I feel like that's what Nintendo and Illumination were kind of going for. Also, this Mario and Peach love story, kind of awkward, don't know exactly how to say it, but it's in the middle of all this conflict. This has been cliched, I don't care. Anyways, despite all that I had to say, I did have fun with this film. Don't hear what I'm not saying. This film is a good movie. If you're a Nintendo fan, or even just like a younger fan or kids, will get the most out of it, but I feel like even Nintendo fans will get like a lot out of it. If you're an average moviegoer, there's probably not a ton of things that are special here with this film, but those are really big powerful moments if you did experience like any sort of Nintendo game in your life. The final third half of this movie is some of the most beautiful Nintendo moments I think I've ever seen in my life. The entire scene with Rosalina and Peach reconnecting is something crazy powerful. And the fact that they canonically make them sisters was jarring at first because I never imagined that they could be. But you know, it kind of makes sense in hindsight, and I'm excited to see a certain other princess in a future film. And like I said, thanks to Star Fox, we got this huge Star Fox 64 remake that people are enjoying, except for the character designs. I've heard a lot of people are very mixed with the character designs. I hate how Falco works in this game. However, when you look at this film critically, it falls apart at the adaptation of the Wii's best game, and you know, I feel like that's kind of okay at the end of the day. Like, this film objectively is like an okay film. I think you can go in and you can watch it, have fun, you can do you, it's all good. But I feel like what makes this film great for me is the fact that this film sets out to do what Nintendo already does. Because Nintendo cares about character moments and having a good time on this roller coaster ride of a plot. And I think that that's what this film does so great. And I think it does it great. However, if I wanted a good story, I turn to the Blue Blur. Now, I know that a lot of these comments are going to be like, of course the Sonic OC guy is going to say the Mario movies sucked, as the Sonic movies are the most powerful films ever made. It saved my grandma. I think I made it clear that over the past, I actually don't know how long this video is, but I think I made it clear in this video, I just love gaming in general, and when it comes to the Mario series as a whole, they do have a good film series. I think it's overall solid films. I think that you can go in, watch it, and not really think anything else of it. And it's still a good time. It doesn't feel like you're wasting money with these films. One of the reasons why I prefer Sonic over Mario is this kind of mantra that Miyamoto has said in interviews where they never really cared about story to begin with. But one of my favorite aspects of playing a game or watching a movie is that overall plot. Is that overall plot good, and can I have that alongside great character moments and character arcs? And that's why I feel like that the Sonic trilogy hits it out of the park. And why I feel like Mario Galaxy, while they're still really solid films, will never be the Sonic movies, and that's okay. At the start of the 2020s, it looked a little weird for the Blue Blur, but because of the success of the first Sonic movie, we have lived in this Sonic high that I don't think I've ever seen before since Sonic Colors back on the Wii. And I think that's when you have a film that does everything right for not only fans of the films, but you can also bring in newcomers to the IP. And that's why I really love this trilogy, is because it brought like Sonic back into not only the mainstream, but these films can just stand on their own as good films. It does what Mario Galaxy did with Star Fox, but only tenfold. This film series have got me to fall in love with characters I didn't really think about, like Knuckles, giving him the beautiful voice of Idris Elba, and going into the storylines that I think were only really like brought up in the Archie comics, and maybe a little bit in Sonic Adventure, but that's about it. They really want to make Knuckles his own character here. The relationship between Dr. Eggman and Stone are some of the most fun I've ever had seeing a villain on screen. Jim Carrey knocks it out of the park, and on top of that, he portrays this villain as well as Jack Black with Bowser. You know, having celebrities voice these types of characters, it could be jarring, but it's Hollywood. You kind of expect some type of actors to get paid. You could go the One Piece route and hire a lot of unknown actors, then, you know, they could still do the job great. But I don't mind Hollywood mainstay actors, especially if they are passionate about the product. And I got that with the Mario movies. I think everyone to an extent cares about the Mario series, other than probably Chris Pratt, which, I mean, I can't doubt that he's never played a Mario game before. Anytime I think about Chris Pratt, I always think of Koopas. But the casting choice is just one of the reasons why I love this film. Everybody brings their A game here when it comes to the Sonic movies. And I think that the height of the Sonic movies, of course, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know this, is Sonic Movie 3. Sonic Movie 3, dare I say, is one of the most important movies in the video game movie discussion, because it does everything right and everything you want to see out of a video game adaptation. It has not only callbacks to the video game IP, pleasing the people that are fans of the IP in general, but also it goes into details of stories and character moments that happened in the games, but it's not just a one-to-one recreation of it. They worked around it. They did a bunch of different types of tweaks. They set it a little bit further into it, so they made like the whole 50-year time jump of Shadow's story fit into the modern era of 2024. And like Mario Galaxy, its third act is one of the most shockingly good third acts I have ever seen in my entire life. The entire story is built up with Sonic befriending Tom and befriending a bunch of other like friends like Tails and Knuckles and all that. But that moment when it looked like Tom was going to freaking die, it gave Sonic an aura that I haven't seen match since Gon from Hunter x Hunter or Sora from Kingdom Hearts 3. And it's a perfect example of the cycle of hatred. This entire thing that you can see in mostly shonen manga and anime, where you see this person that is like been abused by the world. He literally had his best friend taken away from him, and now he's very angry and is going to take it out on the person that did this to him. But then comes to grips with the fact that revenge is never the answer. And that moment is just so much more striking here. There is no moment like this in the Mario movies where I felt like, oh my gosh, they're actually like tugging at the heartstrings with like valuable lessons that people should walk away from. Not to say they're not there in the Mario Galaxy movie, I couldn't see it. But when it comes to these Sonic movies aim to be something that anybody can sit down and watch, while also paying tribute and respects to the IP that it's building off of. The Sonic movies mean a lot to me, and it's not because, oh, it's just Sonic on the big screen. That is part of it, but it's not the main reason why I like these films. It's because these films have a heart and soul and a passion behind it that wants to tell a deep story using the Sonic characters, without it going too far into, oh, edgelord, like this is just the edgy Sonic movie for the edgy teens. Like, these are films that I could take my little brother to go and see, and he's gonna have a freaking field day with it. While at the same time, he's getting these emotional moments, these character moments that I feel like can only be done in the world of Sonic. In the world of Mario, there has been story-driven games. There have been RPGs with character moments that are really good. But again, they just don't hit the same as a Sonic game. And that's okay. Because Mario can tell its stories, and it still can get me very emotional at some moments of the games as well as the movies, but it doesn't hit the same as a Sonic movie because Sonic had the ambition and the goal to make a story and characters and worlds that are completely different from Mario. And that kind of brings us back to the start of this whole entire thing. Would you have liked Mario to just be Sonic in terms of like it basically ditching its entire identity as just a fun roller coaster life for the family, or do you want it to kind of be true to itself? And I feel like Mario being true to itself, it helps it a lot, but at the same time, it's not going to please your average moviegoer. I'm completely aware of this. But as a fan of the Plumber and the Blue Blood for all this time, I think both of these movies are excellent in multiple different ways. Yes, I can nitpick. Yes, I can go over some of the stuff on all these films. Like, Sonic Movie 1 is probably the weakest out of all of these when it comes to looking at the trilogy as a whole. And some of the human characters, yeah, don't exactly land for me. I think some of them do get crapped on way too much for my liking. But again, you're going into these films with different expectations, and that's why I feel like video game movies shouldn't be compared one-to-one like this, because you should go into these films with different expectations if you're knowing like what film you're going to go and watch. I'm not going to compare Ireland to Sonic Movie 3, or I'm going to compare Mario movie to a Minecraft movie. Actually, that might be a better comparison, but regardless, I don't want to think about Minecraft movie at the moment. But with all that being said, I've had so much fun talking about this. I don't really talk a lot about movies on this page. I've done it a few times, but I do love the world of video game movies. And these two in particular, they have both the biggest strengths and some of the biggest weaknesses of the film industry nowadays. Again, my biggest complaint when it comes to the Mario movies is the fact that they just don't flesh out things and it's moving at a rapid pace, while Sonic tends to slow things down a little bit, while also in 2 and 3 being a bit more faster paced while also doing a lot more with the time that was given, you know? It's kind of hard to explain, and I'm probably not making sense. You know, you can leave a mean comment telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Eject me with the YouTube algorithm, why don't ya? But when it comes down to it, I'm just happy that these films exist to begin with, because while these films, yeah, they're not going to please every single person, I feel like the Sonic movies could please every person, but I know that it's just stupid to think that every film is going to please every single person. But at the same time, I do feel like the discussion when it comes to especially the Mario movies have been very off, and I just kind of wanted an excuse to talk about it. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on the Mario movies versus the Sonic movies, and why I think Sonic does it the best. This video was in production for a long time. I've actually had the ideas back in May because I wanted to get this video out. Figured it would be a bit more of an easier product. Then a crap ton of stuff happened in May, from a lot of personal stuff to a lot of online stuff. It just hasn't really been the greatest year for me, and I think you could tell that by just my last couple of videos that I produced on this page. However, I do want things to go back to somewhat of a normal standard when it comes to video recording and video editing and all that type of stuff. And so I am going to be prioritizing video editing going forward here. I want to give a quick thanks to everybody that has lent their voices to this video project. Graceland, Giovanni, as well as Froggy for bringing in the voices for this. This has been a very rough couple months trying to get this video out, but but I'm so glad that it's finally recorded and edited and all that, because I want to move on to other things. There's so much other crap that I want to talk about, and there's one very important video that I'm going to be making that's going to take priority. Yeah, with that out of the way, thank you guys so very much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night or day, and as always, keep gaming.